All right, hello everyone. Gary Ryan here with you with Stars and Standings. Now, this is pre-recorded. As I am recording this, the Bobcats and Seawolves are playing, so these standings do not reflect what is taking place currently as I'm recording this, and as we'll talk about tomorrow. Now, tomorrow I will be today for you watching it. I will also be doing a Spotify podcast that will have uh, the results of the game recap, plus a little bit of news. So anyway, um, yeah. So there we go with the board, and as you can see, it's pretty tight as far as head-to-head races. There's kind of three tiers in the Continental Division. You have Columbus and Carolina up on top, separated by the 1 point. You have Mississippi and Port Huron that are tied in points with 32. Uh, Again, not factoring in the most recent game that we'll be talking about. But Mississippi has more wins. Now, Port Huron isn't playing, so um, that's not affected. Mississippi stays third, regardless of whether they win or lose. Okay, Baton Rouge has kind of separated themselves a little bit from Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge, of course, really struggling with offense. Shut out 3 times over the last 3.5 weeks. So they've got to figure something out. Anyway, so that's where we have there. Again, to recap, because I know there's been some confusion, even with us insiders and reporters and whatnot. Um, it's points first. That's the first consideration with standings. The second consideration is the regulation wins, and then the winning percentage. That's your tiebreakers. So again, because Mississippi has one more win in regulation than Port Huron, they get the third spot. Now, in the Empire, things are getting kind of interesting. Binghamton still has a sizable lead that hasn't changed for quite some time. But Motor City has been struggling a little bit as of late, and Danbury is really catching their drift right now. And so, yeah, there is 4 points separating the two teams. Both have the same amount of wins, overall wins. Danbury's played a couple more games. Motor City has a couple games on hand. But yeah, Danbury's making some noise. So look out, everyone. All right, Watertown still holding on to the fourth spot. Elmira still trying to get things figured out. It doesn't help that they've had injury issues as of late. So we'll see if they can get things going. All right, so that is a look at the standings. Binghamton 18 wins. Carolina has 19 overall. But again, remember, we're going with regulation wins as a tiebreaker, so 14 regulation wins for the Thunderbirds. But yeah, it seems that those three teams have kind of separated themselves from the rest. But you never know what's going to happen. There's still more than half the season to go. A lot can happen. All right, so let's talk about our stars of the week. Again, not doing this in any particular order other than last name alphabetical. Um, there's some other players that I could have mentioned as well, but these are the 5 that I chose, and I'm going to go into a little explanation with one of them. All right, so Corey Cunningham, um, man, he's really been something. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists in 2 games this last weekend. Johnny Ruiz also had 4 goals and 2 assists. I'm sorry, 4 goals, 3 assists. But Cunningham, incredible, just absolutely incredible. He's really helped help propel Danbury in their latest heater. The combination of Ruiz, Ratcliffe, and Cunningham has just been dynamic. All right, so that's our first star, Liam Freeborn. We've mentioned him before. Port Huron had an okay road trip. Well, it wasn't all road trip. The first 2 games were in Port Huron, then they went to Fraser, then they went to Biloxi, Mississippi, and then they went to Winston-Salem. So a lot of mileage covered, 7 games in 9 days, and they ended up winning 4. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. But anyway, so yeah, Freeborn, a goal and 6 helpers for the uh, for the Prowlers. That doesn't cover last weekend's games. It's just the Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But that's great. You know, the Port Huron offense is finally kind of finding its way after struggling for so long. So yeah, Freeborn gets mentioned. Now, Ricardo Gonzalez. I know that there are statistically other goalies that maybe had better weekends, like Connor McCollum from Danbury. You had Taylor Joseph getting a shutout on Saturday, things like that. But Gonzalez, I mentioned him because, yeah, 100 saves in 2 games. 100 saves in 2 games. That is just insane. Got a win. Took a win and a loss. The loss obviously wasn't pretty, but you know what? Motor City, when they played Binghamton, the whole team just looked dead. I don't think that Dominic Hasek could have saved, 5 or 6 of those shots that Gonzalez faced. I mean, he was really hung out to dry. And yet he managed to have a 901 save percentage with 100 saves. So he gets a star in my book. I think his performance was just incredible. So, also Justin McDonald, he is second in the league in points right now. And he had himself a nice little weekend, 2 goals and 4 assists. And then finally, we have Philip Wong, who ended up turning in a nice little performance for the Seawolves this week. Again, not counting tonight's game, well, as you're watching this again, yesterday's game. But Wong really stepped up in the absence of Yanni Lariakos. Obviously, that's a ton of offense for the Seawolves to lose. And Wong was one of the individuals that stepped up their game, and he ended up with 2 goals and 3 assists on the week. So there's our 5 stars, stars and standings for the day. Again, later on Monday, we'll be doing the recap on Spotify. Have to wait till I reach my first destination at work, and then we'll talk about that. All right. Thank you so much for your support. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Make sure to tell a friend. Share the videos with your friends, and let them know that everything they want to know about the FPHL, it's here. It's on Spotify. It's on Facebook, all under the Fed League Flash. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful week. We'll catch you again later on.